Hey, man.
Hey.
So did you hear the remaking?
Screw these guys, man! Like, they're remaking another movie! Oh my god!
It's a game, actually.
What? Which game?
Wait, no anger for this one?
No, like, it depends on the game.
DuckTales.
Woo-hoo! Oh, sorry. It happens every time I hear that. But, man, that's awesome! Like, I'm already super hyped about that.
Well, don't you think getting that pumped is going to ruin it for you?
Nah.
So, what'd you think of DuckTales Remastered?
It's not as good as the original.
Ah, DuckTales.
Woo-hoo!
One of the best games on the NES, and a shining example of a licensed product done right. The game came out in 1989, and was the first of several classic games made by Capcom and Disney. Mickey Mouse Capades doesn't count, as it was actually made by Hudson Soft. The game is well known for its tight controls, fun levels, and iconic music. Even today, its influences can be felt in games like Shovel Knight. When it was announced that Wave 4 Technologies was going to make an HD remastered DuckTales, the hype was through the roof! I remember seeing loads of videos of people talking about how much they loved the original game, and that they were eagerly looking forward to playing an updated version. When the game finally came out in 2013, the general reaction I kept seeing and hearing over and over was that it wasn't good as the original, and went back to the same old arguments people seem to have when they talk about movie remakes.
Why bother making something that was already fine as is? Does it really need to be remade? And if it's too different, then it sucks. And if it's the same thing, then it sucks. Bitch, bitch, whine, whine.
Has nostalgia blinded us? Is DuckTales just an example of something that's too good, that we can't make another one? And now, I admit I have a lot of nostalgic love for this game, but it's time we took a critical eye. We need to see what made the original so good. Does the remake stand up on its own? How are they different? The same? And most importantly of all, are they fun? Right off the bat I can tell we're in good hands. They did a great job with the theme song and Scrooge's face. But the rest is a bit dull. It's nitpicky, I know, but this will be relevant later. After we choose our difficulty, we get right to our stage select screen. We can choose any of these 5 levels in any order we want, which always screams Capcom to me. We don't get much in terms of in-game story, but I actually have the instruction manual right here, so let's see what it has to say. Hunting for treasure to become even richer. Seems like something Scrooge would do.
As we play through the game, we will find out pretty quickly that the control is spot on. It's super responsive and does exactly what you want it to do.
Me bad friends!
Scrooge can use his cane to smash blocks and pogo his way through enemies and obstacles. There are lots of jewels to collect and secrets to discover. We'll come across familiar faces along the way, such as Launchpad and the Beagle Boys, as we make our way through these well-designed levels.
The music. Do I even need to say anything about this? No, but I will anyway. It is often considered some of the best 8-bit music ever made, and I really can't disagree. Even if you've never played the game, chances are you still have heard some of these iconic tracks. Transylvania, The Moon, and the boss battle music being some of my personal favorites. Speaking of the boss, we've made it to one of them. This is where I can say the game falters. Some of the boss battles are lame. While they all have their distinct look, their attack patterns don't differ much. But at least 2 of them are from the show, so that's kinda cool.
Once you have cleared all 5 stages, bested the bosses, and claimed the treasure, you are sent back to Transylvania for one final showdown and a race for more riches. The game's not super long, but there is no save or password system, so you have to finish it in one go. And anyone who grew up with an NES can tell you that sometimes this means hoping and praying nothing glitches out and freezes. And that's pretty much it for the original game. Before we try to answer the main questions, we first need to look at the remake.
That title screen. When I first saw that, I literally got goosebumps. Everything about this title screen just makes me smile. The way the music transitions from the old 8-bit style to the new, the helicopter flying in, and seeing Duckburg in the background. This just shows how much time, effort, and love went into the game. This is hammered home by the fact that all the original living voice actors were brought in to reprise their roles. The game uses 2D hand-drawn sprites and 3D modeled levels, which really makes everything seem vibrant and alive. Those levels were created by a Disney TV artist, by the way. Scrooge can even dive into and swim in his money. It's stuff like that that really does it for me.
Me money! Man, this isn't easy as it looked. Oh hey, I like a dime.
Speaking of levels, 2 more have been added. An intro stage in Scrooge's Money Bin, and Mount Vesuvius, which takes the place of the Transylvania level as the final level. The game also greatly expands on the plot of the original game, and makes an effort to be like an episode of the cartoon. All of the levels have been given an expansion, making them both familiar and new. Each stage will have an objective to complete in order to advance, like finding all of Gizmo Duck's super suit, or finding Scrooge's nephews. So while the game remains faithful to the original, it isn't a carbon copy of it.
The overall gameplay remains the same, though I actually had to get used to it. This may be just for me being so familiar with the original, but for new players, I don't think this is an issue. Plus, you have the option of changing the bounce control, so there's really nothing to complain about. The music for the game is outstanding. WayForward knew they had a lot to live up to, and I think they did an excellent job. Transylvania ended up being my favorite track, with the boss battle music being a close second.
Speaking of which, the biggest deviation from game to game is the boss battles. Each one has been given unique patterns and styles and are actually challenging. They all retain something from the original game, but throw in a new trick into the mix, and can really test your thinking and reaction time. The battle with Magica Dispel is especially memorable.
The biggest complaint I heard about the game is that people got annoyed by the cutscenes. I personally didn't have a problem with them, but I can see where they're coming from. It does slow the game down and can be irritating if you just want to blaze through the game. You can skip these scenes though, so to me this complaint is a minor one. Maybe hearing the same quotes too many times per stage can be irritating, but nothing game-breaking here. My real complaint for the game is the sharp spike in difficulty for the final stage. Due to the game keeping the non-linear style from the original, all the stages stay within the same range of challenge. It doesn't really prepare you for how tough the final area and boss can be, and I admit I ended up dying far more than I should have. So after taking a look at each game, I think we have enough to answer those questions.
What made the original so great?
The controls, the music, the levels, and the gameplay.
Does the remake stand up on its own?
Yes! With the added voice acting and expanded story, it stays true to both the original game and the cartoon.
How are they similar?
Overall goals in the game, solid gameplay, and level design.
How are they different?
The boss battles and extra stages, title screen presentation and difficulty, expanded plot.
And most important of all, are they fun?
Yes. I can honestly say that both of these games are fun. Each has its strength and weakness, but I would highly recommend playing them both. DuckTales for the NES has aged well. It still holds up as being a solid platformer and a standout title for the system. It easily deserves the place it holds in the hearts of retro gamers. While the remastered is like a love letter and a candlelit dinner for nostalgia. If you have never played the original game, please do yourself a favor and do it. That being said, it isn't on the Virtual Console. Being somewhat of a purist when it comes to this sort of thing, I feel the best way to play this one is on the NES with a controller in your hand. Not saying there's anything wrong with emulation, to each their own. When I initially wrote the script for this, I wasn't aware of the Disney Afternoon Collection, but it's out now, so you can now play DuckTales on your modern consoles and Steam. So have at it. Enjoy.
The remastered version is available on the Wii U, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Steam, with both physical and digital versions.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let us know in the comments what you thought about these games. And what should be remade, what should be left alone. Let us know.
And if you can watch our other videos, we deeply appreciate it. And try to reach us in social media. You know the ones.
Again, thank you so much for watching. We are the GameSharks, and we'll see you in the next one.